Hey guys, how's it going? So the view out there is looking a little murky as it's been for a while, but especially hazy today. As I mentioned in previous videos, if it weren't for this haze, you would be able to see some of the highest snowy peaks of the Himalayas right out there, right past that little foothill there, including Annapurna 1, 10th highest mountain in the world, just over 8,000 meters or about 26,500 feet. And where I'm about to go trekking starting tomorrow is first up to Annapurna Base Camp, which will be at the base of Annapurna Mountain. And then a trekking route called the Annapurna Circuit, which goes around the Annapurna Mountain. So this is going to be a amazing 3-week or so trek in the Himalayas. I made another video talking more specifically about trekking in the Himalayas and what it involves, where you stay, all that kind of stuff. And so look down below this video for a link to that video if you want to check that out. There's going to be a lot of information, links and whatnot below this video. So click on the Show More Info tab for more information. And so this video is going to be about how to get ready for a trekking trip in the Himalayas. Now, I will first mention here that I am going without a guide or porter. I addressed this issue, whether to get a guide and or a porter, in the other video there. And so it is up to you. There's different ways to do it. It just depends on your own skill and whether you want to carry the weight and all that kind of stuff. And so kind of the first question you have to ask yourself, just a very preliminary, trekking in the Himalayas sounds interesting, is number one, are you healthy? Number two, are you in reasonably good shape, including able to carry a backpack on your back? If not, then plan B would be to have a porter carry it for you. Number three would be, do you have some sort of general backpacking, camping, hiking up steep mountains, outdoors kind of experience? It isn't, completely and totally required, but it definitely helps. The more experience, the better. You are out there in the mountains, not, lost off on little trails or whatever. They are established routes, but still it is good to have general outdoors experience and know how to handle yourself in the mountains and in varied weather conditions, because that is a big factor. There could be snowstorms up there. This trekking route that I'm doing, there was a massive blizzard there 2.5 years ago, the biggest trekking disaster in Nepal, in which like 30-something people died because they got hit by a really bad snowstorm. So it is real stuff, real mountain conditions. And so the next essential step to get ready for trekking in the Himalayas, I would say, is to, preferably prior to coming to Nepal, get your two most important pieces of gear, and that is your backpack. I made another video talking about the backpack and various factors when it comes to choosing a backpack. I will post a link down below as well to my video talking about right after I bought this backpack and showing the various features of it. And then number two is your footwear. I am going to be trekking in these shoes, but they are really good Columbia hiking shoes, which I have worn before, and they are worn in. I know that they are comfy and they fit me well, and they do a good job. Shoes are an essential and super critical component, of course, because it isn't the best idea to get here to Pokhara, where I am here in Nepal, and buy a new pair of boots and then hit the trail, and then a day or two in, you realize they're too small, they're rubbing the wrong way, you have some sort of an issue. And so that is why it is good to get your footwear prior to coming here, so it's something that is worn in and that is going to definitely work for you. And so next I'm going to move on to this whole mess of stuff here. This is all going to be fitting into this backpack here. Now, another thing that I will mention here, notice this other pile of stuff over here. That is all the stuff that is not going with me. And so in order to go trekking in the Himalayas, probably you're on some other trip to, like I went to Thailand and Cambodia before here, and so I have various stuff. And so you can then leave those with your hotel here. While you're gone, they will store it safely for free so that you don't have to carry all of this stuff that you aren't going to need. But all of this stuff is going, including a pair of sandals, just to have them, it might be a sunny day that I take off and I'm sitting around and just don't want to have to always necessarily put on my shoes. And then I am also bringing my computer here. Fortunately, I have a nice small size laptop, and so it is good for traveling and doesn't weigh very much. Obviously not an essential component of your trekking gear, but in my case, and I'm going to be trying to edit some videos along the way, and then also it is a way to back up my video files since I will be taking lots of video footage. I have in fact heard that there is Wi-Fi in certain places on the trekking route, and so it is something to consider to bring a laptop if you want to be able to send out some emails, check your Facebook or whatever. As I understand it, it will be slow connections, so probably not good for uploading videos or doing anything that requires any speed or whatever. But still, it might come in handy for shooting off some emails to family and stuff as well. All right, now getting on to the whole mess here of other things. And so one very important consideration here is a pack cover. If you end up hiking in a rainstorm and you have to keep on hiking for whatever reason, you can't just pop into a lodge and get out of the rain, then you want something that is going to keep the rain out of your backpack so that everything else that's in there doesn't get soaking wet, your sleeping bag and whatnot. So something that will probably not be used. I don't anticipate that there's going to be much rain on this trek, but weather conditions are variable, and so you should be prepared for that. And then sleeping bag, obviously a very important item there. Now, this sleeping bag says it is good to -10 degrees Celsius, which would be like 20 degrees Fahrenheit or so below zero. However, I am not counting on it actually working to that temperature at all. This is a knockoff supposed North Face sleeping bag that was about $30. But you don't have to rely on a sleeping bag completely to keep you warm while trekking, because the lodges also provide blankets. And so I am just assuming that that is not going to do the trick entirely, but it will be a good complement to the blankets that the lodges provide. And then you throw another blanket or two on top, and then that should do the trick. And then here we have a bunch of food. Now, you do not need to bring all of the food for your trek, of course. This is going to be like 3 weeks of trekking. But it is good to bring some various snacks. For one thing, everything is going to be more expensive the higher you get up. The further that porters have to carry gear and supplies, everything that you make use of in the lodges, all of the food that you are eating there, the gas, water, etc., is all trekked in by porters. And so they have to pay those porters, and so the farther that they have to carry it, the more expensive things get. And so this is a way to save some money, basically. If all this stuff was available along the trail, I would just get it there. Some of it may be, but at higher prices. And so I have a bunch of granola bars here, and then cashews, raisins. There's a big bag of peanuts in there, some like coconut things, chocolates, and my own tea bags. Same thing here. I drink a like herbal tea. And also that is a way to save some money, is that you just ask them for a cup of hot water. And I have a mug here. So I got my own mug, and so I just hand it to them, say, hot water, please. And then they may quite possibly charge a little something for that, for having to heat up the water. But it would only be, 20, 30, 40 rupees, something like that, as opposed to whatever they're going to charge for a cup of tea. And then here I have my camera stuff, and then my sleep mask, and earplugs for a good night's rest, hopefully, towel, a book to read, sunglasses, obviously, very important, hat with a brim for keeping the sun out of your eyes and off your nose, but I also have sunscreen, and so here's a assortment of little items. Super glue, which I just bought recently for fixing something else, and I figured might as well throw it in there, you never know. Moleskin, which is for patching up blisters, some extra batteries, some vitamin C. This one is very, very important. Aquatabs, water purification tablets. And so this is to make water drinkable. And so that is a way to save some money on the trek, is to not expect to buy bottled water along the way, but get local water and then purify it with those tablets. And then for one thing, you are not going to be contributing to plastic waste with, tossing out your bottles along the way. And then also you're going to save some bucks not having to buy those, because as I said, everything that gets trekked up there is more expensive, especially water, which is of course heavy. And so I have here 2 packets of 50 tablets each, which purifies 1 liter of water. And then, this is important, a headlamp, And then those batteries go with the headlamp. And then a few random things here: thread, needles, lighter, fingernail clippers, little scissors, more earplugs, my Leatherman tool. This is a photocopy of my passport and driver's license. I have several of these in different places. And then here, getting into the clothes, this is a neck warmer, a warm hat, of course, gloves, long sleeve warm shirt, my jacket, which is nice and warm and also waterproof, and it has a hood that zips on there, a warm shirt to go over the other warm shirt, a bag of underwear, nice warm pants, maps. Obviously, this is an important one, and so these are both maps of different parts of the trekking route. This one is of the Annapurna Base Camp, which is where we will be hiking first, and then this one is of the Annapurna Circuit Trek, which basically we will be hiking up to the base camp and then taking a trail that connects into the circuit, which then goes around the Annapurna Mountains. More socks there, bandana, tank top, t-shirt, tank top, t-shirt, and a pair of shorts that might not be necessary, but who knows, maybe there will be a spot to take a swim, because I am also going to be taking these shorts here, which is what I will mostly be wearing, but I figured those are lightweight, might as well throw those in there. They might come in handy. And I think that covers things. All right, I am very curious to see how all this fits into my backpack and how it feels. It's going to be a bit of weight here, especially with that food. But fortunately, that bag will be getting lighter as I cruise along, and as I also get stronger. And so I think it is going to be very manageable, and I am ready to get going. We are heading out tomorrow, midday. It will be myself and my friend John from England that I met in Cambodia, as well as a third guy, Phil from Germany, who John met on the bus from Kathmandu to Pokhara a couple of days ago, and then we all met up yesterday and went out to dinner, and then we're going to meet up later this evening, talk about last minute stuff, make sure we got everything and all that, and then heading out tomorrow midday, catching a taxi which will head that general direction and get us to the base of the Himalayas. Basically, it's going to be just like a 30-minute taxi ride, and then from there it is all uphill and a lot of climbing. Pokhara here is at only about 1,000 meters, and that taxi ride does not take you up all that much. And so you have to get basically from 1,000 meters or so up to the base camp, which is at 4,130 meters. So that is a lot of uphill hiking, but it's going to be good exercise, good for mind, body, and soul, hopefully. And we'll make some amazing video, adventurous experiences, scenic views. Should be really epic and inspiring. So stay tuned for videos from the Himalayas. Take it easy.